It's V-Week on ESPN as we continue Jim Valvano's fight against cancer.
Statesboro, Georgia. The sun rises over town, all peaceful and quiet on the outside, but it's about to get rocking inside the Hill Convocation Center. Kids Field Trip Day as Georgia Southern welcoming Coastal Georgia on ESPN+. Welcome to the Hill. Alongside Cody Tran and Sarah Lang, I'm Danny Wall. The Eagles have lost their last 2 games. Cody, to get a win today, what's the biggest adjustment the Eagles need to make to face Coastal Georgia today?
Got to limit the turnovers. And overall, you got to be able to communicate with a loud stadium full of kids. It's got to be a little bit louder today.
This is a Coastal Georgia team entering the Hill with 10 new players, and one of the players leading the charge has been the senior forward, Tyler Butler.
Yeah, look no further when looking at Coastal Georgia than the main player in the middle, Tyler Butler. Averaging 13 points a game and leading the team with 7 rebounds a game, as well as leading the team with a 63% field goal percentage. And when looking at the other side of the court, you got the two-way scorer, Nicole Gwen, really performing well for this Georgia Southern team today, averaging 12.5 points per game and leading the Georgia Southern Eagles with 2 steals a game. If she can get that 3-ball rolling, she will have opponents' hands even more full.
For more on this matchup, we send it to our sideline reporter, Sarah Lang, with more.
The Eagles are coming off a loss last week against Jackson University and still looking up to pick up their first win in the Hill today. Eagles head coach Hannah Hayden says they really focus on themselves this week in practice, making sure they can stay consistent defensively, while performing offensively and make the mistakes they need on the court to score.
Head coach in her first season, Hannah Hayden.
Georgia Southern's efficiency hasn't been there in the last 2 games, especially after a loss 56-51 to Jacksonville. And it's because of that, Cody, is why the numbers almost on par with Coastal Georgia to start the season.
And with Hannah Hayden being in her first season, we got to get through the obstacles. But overall, Georgia Southern, it's going on a good start. First 4 games of the season started 4-0, but these last 4 games, 1-3. Let's see if they can improve with this start against Coastal Georgia.
We'll also see how this rocking crowd plays a factor inside the Hill. Expected to have over 3,000 kids from numerous elementary schools across Bullitt County here to enjoy this Kids Field Trip Day matchup. Always fun when you can get out of school for a couple of hours and enjoy some basketball. Opening tip won by the Eagles. Matchup between the Eagles and the Mariners in almost 4 years, where Georgia Southern, a dominant performance, 118-48, also set the program record for rebounds in a game. A new look team this year for the Eagles. This is the 4th all-time matchup between the 2 programs. And Cody, after a hot shooting start for both the Eagles and the Mariners, both teams have been a bit of a drought here.
And I think it's because the kids have come into a factor now too. Loud stadium. Got to make sure that everyone on the team communicates even louder, knowing everyone's assignment.
It didn't start out like that in the beginning, where both teams hit their first quarter. Georgia Southern a 19-16 lead over Coastal Georgia. The threes lighting up from the junior Jasmine Jackson.
Look at her go. 4 or 5 just from the first quarter. Let's see if she can keep that rolling.
That was the big thing that Coach Hayden talked about against this Coastal Georgia team. 14th season in program history, just over 200 wins, and interim head coach Corey Harris now leading the charge.
And with the first season for Corey Harris, he's really trying to find a culture for this Coastal Georgia team, as well as seeing what system fits for each of these players. Only 4 players kept from last season.
Yeah, 10 new players for this team, and with that, Coach Harris also from Cincinnati, so he appreciates Midwestern basketball. So really wanted to bring players that can implement that style.
Yeah, with Corey Harris, you got to make
Harris and what he's trying to do with this Coastal Georgia program. The pipeline, a former player, 545 career points, with some of those being at Coastal Georgia. Then became an assistant coach for both the men's and the women's programs, and then hired in March as the interim head coach.
You like to see Coastal Georgia hiring in-house, keeping the overall team fresh and
Bowl season begins tomorrow with these two games, Jacksonville State and South Carolina State in the Cricket Celebration Bowl at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, noon Eastern on ABC, and then in the IS4S Salute the Veterans Bowl, South Alabama squares off with Western Michigan at 9 Eastern on ESPN at the historic Crampton Bowl in Montgomery, Alabama. Welcome back inside the Hill. Danny Wall, Cody Tran, Sarah Lang on sideline. The Eagles a 34-28 lead over Coastal Georgia through 1.5 of play on Kids Field Trip Day. And Cody, the efficiency has been there for Georgia Southern, especially in terms of three-point shooting. What do you want to see from the Eagles moving forward to maintain this lead?
Keep the cleaner shots going in and making sure that we keep the communication coming up, making sure that Georgia Southern is getting quality shots into the basket.
And it was led by Jasmine Jackson in the first quarter with 4 of those 6 made threes, 12 points in the first half overall, even getting involved with some efficiency plays and getting everyone else involved on the floor. But Coastal Georgia has not gone away. Morgan Webb off the bench with 10 points and has made this game as close as it's been, Cody.
Got to make sure that these teams keep playing quality basketball overall, keeping the team shots coming up.
Webb also having a couple of threes, 3 of 5 from long distance. She leads the Mariners with 10. Jasmine Jackson leading the way with 12, the junior transfer from Grambling State. What can Coastal Georgia do these kids are just raucous here inside the Hill. How can they making it tough for Schaefer as Georgia Southern a 61-39 lead through 3 quarters of play. 4th quarter coming up after the break on ESPN+. Kids Field Trip Day inside the Hill, enjoying a 61-39 Georgia Southern lead over Coastal Georgia. Who is that? That is our producer, James Bro. I have to believe. James is from Brunswick, where Coastal Georgia is located, and our producer for this game, and also made the incredible package of highlighting interim head coach Corey Harris's transition from player to coach. May not be enjoying the lead the Eagles have right now, but for Coastal Georgia, Cody, how do you break through this defensive pressure? The bowl season's underway in New Orleans in the R+L Carriers New Orleans Bowl. The Bearcats of Sam Houston take on the Georgia Southern Eagles. Catch the action next Thursday at 7 Eastern on ESPN2.